Hello everyone. So as you can tell by the mess here, I have been working on my 1/60th scale no grade Wing Zero TV version. And lately I have been seeing quite a lot of different work in progress videos and tutorials showing some more advanced modeling techniques and stuff. So I figured I would try to make this one of my better projects, to do a lot of more sophisticated modeling work than I do with some of my other kits. Basically to just do a good, simple, straight build with good effects and good craftsmanship. That includes removing seam lines, slight modifications, alterations, not anything heavy at all, but just very minor aesthetic changes to help it look a little better here and there, but really nothing much. But just to sort of get my feet wet at doing real model work for a change. And I guess to start I can show off some of the work I've done on seam line removal. This part was separated down the middle here, like that, and that's so that you can sandwich these poly caps between the two halves. So since it's kind of out of the way, and since some of these areas are really hard to get at, I've just tried to do the best I can. Some of this will be covered up anyway, like the ball here will be inside of the leg, so I don't need to worry about whether that seam line is removed at all. Similarly with inside there, that's going to be covered up by the torso and everything. Most of this won't even show, but this was sort of like my initial practice piece to get some sanding experience down, and especially down here I think I did okay. Additionally, I've been working on the leg joints, so you can see here, if my camera will focus, there. Seam line running down the middle like that. This I used super glue on, and since the glue is transparent, you do get to see where the gaps were, and so even though it is polished well, and there aren't really any flaws like here anyway, it still shows the gap. But once I put some primer on that, it shouldn't show. I did mess up a couple little areas, like if you can see on that lip there, there's some gap there. There's also one on the bottom here that I'll need to fill. That one turned out okay, even though it looks really nasty, if you can see by the shine. And that is going to be a nightmare to try to clear out. I don't know what I'm going to do with that, but I'll do what I can. Also, this groove down the middle is going to be tricky, I'm sure. But I'll do what I can. I think this file might actually do the job, at least initially, and then I'll just fold some sandpaper, maybe do a little bit of the file work here. And then I got some other parts prepped up and ready for sanding here. I'll continue to do more as I go along. Initially here I'm just going to be doing a lot of prep work. Just getting this kit ready for when I can go outside and actually paint it. I won't be able to do everything pre-hand, but I'll try to do most. And to try to help fill up repair work and stuff, I've also gone ahead and picked up some putty, both just regular filling putty and some epoxy putty for handling any bigger problems. But also, I've been working on some of these effect parts here. Specifically, I want you to notice the eyes. Now you'll notice how very shiny and reflective these are. Well, what I did was I put a black border around the eye detail, and I actually took a little bit of this mirror chrome shine tape that I found at Walmart. You know, where they're holding the new Christmas displays, they should have little containers filled with different festive types of tape and stuff. And I found this and thought this could be useful. What I didn't realize was that it was actually double-sided with the chrome. So if you're careful, you can take this and use the sticky side facing forward, like I've done here. Basically the same idea behind the Master Grade New Gundam version Ka, where you can stick the foil behind the Psycho Frame parts. So that's basically what I've done here with those eyes. And even though it won't frickin' focus, I think you can sort of get the idea. I'm really happy with the way that turned out. Moving on, I did one more major modification, or rather just sort of a alteration or a sort of an aid to the kit in general, and that's with the Buster rifles here. Now, I remember seeing a review of this kit by Prime92 a while ago, and she had said that these rifles don't like to stay together. They fall apart constantly because the pegs here, which are supposed to fit into the slots there, don't secure very well. So I came up with my own solution. Magnets. And those will not come off unless you want them to. So what I did was I basically took some magnets that I'd found a while ago, these generic super magnets. I got them a while ago because I thought I might be able to use them, but I just didn't know for what. And then this project came along, and I took 3 of these magnets for each half of the rifles here. And basically, I lined them up on the insides. If you can kind of see that little thing in there, that's one of the magnets. And right now they're just stuck in there with blue tack, so that if I decide I want to reposition them inside the rifles, I can do so. But eventually I will be super gluing them in there, and that should work just fine. And it's given me an idea of maybe doing some other magnet work on other parts of the kit, but I might want to go ahead and get smaller magnets to use in various different places. For what exactly, I'm not sure. Anyway, what I'm thinking I might be able to do with these magnets in place is possibly get rid of these pegs and holes altogether. Cut off the pegs and fill the holes with epoxy. Here, I'm not so sure what I'll be able to do because that's where they have to mount to the shield when you have it in bird mode. So I don't know if magnet work will be appropriate for that or not, but I'll see what I can do. But what I'm thinking I really want to try to do is to remove these unsightly pegs and gaps and make them look even, and just use the magnets as the way that they hold on to each other. So I think that would be pretty cool. I just have to try to make sure that the magnets don't slip and slide too much. And that the pegs aren't really being that helpful now, because if they are, that might be trouble after I remove those. So I'm gonna have to try to do some other kinds of experiments here against like flat plastic and see if 3 magnets lined up along this kind of length will support each other. I imagine they would, because these are rather nice. I don't know how strong they are on the magnetic scale, the N scale, for those who use these things a lot. But I have looked into getting some other kinds of magnets, as I've said, and maybe I'll use them in other parts. Or maybe I'll even replace the ones I've got in here if the other ones I decide to get are good enough. Or maybe I'll use them for other kits, other projects. All I know is for now, this has been a really nice solution, and I'm very happy with the way they work. The only issue I could possibly see being a problem is the added weight to the rifle, because they're not entirely lightweight. But as you can see, even the handles, which can fold up, they hold it pretty well. So I think that should be okay. And the one last thing that I can mention about what I have planned for this project is that I have been wanting to make it look really good with a good paint job and some decals. So I ordered all of these Gundam Wing decals from Gundam Store and More. This is for the original Wing Gundam. This is for Shenlong. This is for Sandrock. And this one is for the heavy arms. And though they are 1/100th scale, I mean, I think if you kind of look here, how some of these look side by side, you know, they're not too small. And I kind of would prefer it if they were a little more subtle. You know, but I've also got some of these lines and stuff, fancy stuff. I might be sticking on a couple of those Operation Meteor decals and the Colony's Liberation stuff. Just subtle little hints of Gundam Wing influence peppered on throughout the whole parts of the kit. And I'm gonna get even more decals just to round out my selection, but these should all work pretty well together. They should mesh pretty well together, and the ones I'm gonna get after this, that should be in the mail soon, they are gonna be themed a little more towards the Wing Zero itself. Plus I've got some decals for other kits down the line as well. Kind of went on a splurge there. But anyway, that is, in a nutshell, my general plan of attack for my 1/60th scale Wing Zero. And as I keep getting more stuff done, or if I come up with any more unique twists and mods, I'll be sure to do future work-in-progress videos to show you how it's all coming along. But for now, I guess this will have to do. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this, found it interesting, and until the next time, catch you later, everybody.